Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Vijayakumar and I am in teaching for last 25 years. I have never felt such kind of stress on stage. In spite of being teacher for such a long time, I never got this kind of stress. This stress is just because TEDx don't allow you to interact with the audience. So how I'm going to do that? Most of my days goes in teaching or giving training to the students, but I keep interacting. Today, without interaction, well, that's a stress, but that's a very small level of stress. When you speak about this small level of stress, you call it as eustress, E-U-S-T-R-E-S-S. You know what is eustress? The kind of feeling that I have now. It's a good level of moderate stress. Sometimes when you go to interview or when you are chased by a little Pomeranian dog, okay, you run away from it. So that is eustress. Sometimes it is interesting, sometimes it gives you that push, sometimes it gives you a lot of productive ideas. So when I speak about this eustress or the good stress, of course there should be something called as the bad stress as well. The bad stress that creates tension, the stress that stops you from doing things. So that is going to be my topic. Get ready for the future forward with Nixon. What is Nixon? Nixon in Dutch means doing nothing. How do you think doing nothing is going to help you become more productive? Okay, that is going to be today's topic. I would request all the audience to read through the questionnaire. You don't have to answer to me, but you can get your scores. For each question, you have only 2 answers, yes or no. I give you a minute. The first one is emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, reduced sense of accomplishment. Do you feel constantly drained by your work? If it's yes, count your yes. No's, you don't really have to count. It's not a test, just to understand where we stand. So in case if you have got 0 no, yes or less than 2 yes, I think you are absolutely blessed. You don't have anything called as stress or burnout. Next, if you have 3 to 5, I think it is self-explanatory, you can read. And if it is more than 6, you are in a risky state. So what will happen when you face adequate stress more than what your body or brain can withstand? Something called as burnout. A new corporate terminology which is widespread today in corporate. What is called as this burnout? Stress, that is the bad stress, allows or increases burnout. So burnout is defined by World Health Organization and also classified in ICD, that is International Classification of Diseases 11. According to World Health Organization, burnout is defined as a syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic workplace stress that cannot be managed successfully. If you can't manage your stress, then it leads to something called as burnout. How to combat or how to fight this stress? Before seeing those things, let us try to understand what are the causes of stress or burnout. I have listed only few here. There could be so many other causes, so many other symptoms, so many other impact. But very important or majority of the research result shows that the causes of burnout is, the burnout particularly relates to workplace. Nothing related to your domestic work or your family work. It is something related only to your organizational commitments, business commitments. So the causes could be overwork, unrealistic productive expectation, unstructured work atmosphere, a lot of politics in the organization. These could be the causes. And how do you know that you are stressed or you are burned out? You feel drained, you don't have proper sleep, insomnia, high blood pressure, and so many other things. And what are the impact? Organization faces a lot of problem, including the individuals, the organization. Number 1, productivity reduces. Individual productivity reduces. It is resulting to, obviously, the reduction of productivity in the organization also. Then increased absenteeism. Nobody will like if you keep yourself absenting from the organization. It is bad both for the individual employee as well as for the employer. Strained relationship in the organization, sometimes away from the organization also. So how to combat this burnout? So there are a few things which is practiced across globe for centuries. I'm not going to speak about all those things in detail. I'll just touch upon all those things and we will move on to the main hero of today's talk, Nixon. But before that, let us try to understand the various traditional practices practiced across globe to combat or fight burnout. The first one is Shinrin Yoko, a Japanese practice which literally means getting yourself involved into nature, going into forest or some kind of park and relax in the mid of greeneries. Okay. The second one is siesta, the power of afternoon nap. And many of us feel it. Actually, it re-energizes you very much. So the power of nap, it is followed in Spain and many other countries also. We hear that Chinese or Japanese permit their employees to sleep in the organization. Sometimes if they are sleeping, the manager who passes by also appreciate, look at this guy, he would have worked a lot, that's why he is dozing off now. You call it as the power nap. And you have something called as in Denmark, Hygge, Hygge. It is spelled as Hygge, but it should be pronounced as Hogo, which means cultivating coziness, at the comfort of richness. Sometimes we cannot afford to all those things. Fika, a Swedish custom where you break for coffee or tea, get along with your friends in the organization itself, take relaxed time, chat about certain things which is not in business, okay, away from the business topic. It also energizes you back or gives you that, that kind of start again. And Ikigai, a very famous practice which is catching up in India also. Today you see a lot of Ikigai books sold in shelves in bookstores, understanding the purpose of life. Next one, Ubuntu, you would have seen this, community, the strength of community. You get back to the community, you speak with them and you get relaxed. Well, all these things which I have spoken now are not possible without the help of something. For the first one, for example, both the Japanese practice, getting into the forest, it's not possible today. Practically, it is not possible. Not everyone are blessed to go around. Or if you want to grab a coffee and speak with your friends, sometimes we are working from home today. Where do you get your friends to? Everything has having certain limitations. I'm not defaming or making small of any of these things. I'm only trying to say these are not possible for everyone to practice. But what is easy for everyone and everyone can practice is Nixon. So what is Nixon? Before understanding Nixon, I would like to present two data. One from the World Health Organization, the other one from World Happy Report. Manager burnouts rate by generation. The red one is Gen X, millennials. Millennials age group is between 25 and 40. And you have Gen X and the baby boomers. Who is facing burnout a lot in organization? Millennials. And there is a correlation between this chart and the other one. World Happy Index. Can you find where India is? It is in 125th place. Can you find where Netherlands is? It is in 5. Can you find where Finland? Obviously in number 1. Whenever we speak about this happy index, these are the countries which tops the chart. But there is a correlation between the burnout chart and the world happiness chart. Because in India, 140 crores, and we have tied with China, we both can make around 45% of the world population. And when you look at the millennial strength, in India alone, 25 to 40 age group is around 35 to 36%, which is a very major chunk. And if those many people are burned out in organization, taking tension every day, I think that is going to badly hit the happy index. So that is the correlation between, the burnout and the happy index. In fact, the population also plays a major role. The countries which are sitting in the front rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are not that populated. Imagine the world is having 700 crores and India is alone having 140 crores of people. And putting with China, we are close to 40%. Nixon. Nixon is the art of doing nothing. I bought a paper to make a rocket, or you just keep walking without having any purpose, or take a paper, doodle, scribble something, take your time, 5-15 minutes from the office time, gaze through the window, do whatever you want. You don't really have to be productive in those 5-10 minutes. Forget about things, forget about your targets. That is called as Nixon. And that is why the earlier chart shows Netherlands or Finland or Denmark sits in number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Because Nixon is from the Dutch. Nixon means doing nothing. Nixon means not being lazy, but doing nothing for a few minutes. Even in German, every 30 minutes they take a 5 minutes break. Break it in such way that they complete the task. So Nixon embraced the art of doing nothing. Nixon is a Dutch concept which encourages taking intentional break, purposefully take break and do certain things which don't have any purpose at all. That is the definition of Nixon. Activities that can enhance Nixoning, or Nixing is itself a verb by itself, doing nothing, Nixing, they call it as Nixing. So daydreaming, most of us do that, especially students. When faculty do the class, students do a lot of Nixon. We don't even understand whether they are listening to us or Nixing. Similarly, faculty sometime when we are doing this invigilation duties, we may be Nixing. The students may be thinking that we are watching them, but we may be out of our mind wandering and coming back to the business. So that actually gives you a lot of energy. Gazing through the window, gazing into the space, sometimes you can just, relax seeing it. You don't really have to have anything in all those things. Like the Japanese practice, or even for doing yoga, yoga also a wonderful thing. But you have to do certain things for yoga. Here, nothing. Gazing into the space, doodling, walking. The highlight is just keep your mind wandering and do things without any purpose. So benefits of Nixing or Nixon. The individual benefits are reduces stress and burnout, enhances creativity and problem solving, improved focus and memory, increased happiness and well-being, recharge energy and motivation. And also research states that the more Nixon or the more Nixing you do, it slows your age processing also. And there are a lot of organizational benefits as well. Improved employee well-being, enhanced innovation, increased productivity, reduced turnover, positive work culture. What else do you expect? By doing nothing, if you can get all those things, that's wonderful. And of course, please don't get confused with these things. These are not Nixon. You may also get yourself engaged in some sport activity. It is having a purpose, so it doesn't come under Nixon. Or watching certain channels or OTTs to kill the time. You feel energized, but still it is not Nixon. Hobbies, no. Meditation, no. So Nixon is not procrastination. It is also not just taking your time and letting your mind wander and keeping things at bay. No. You have to come back, do your business. And laziness, no. And there is a word of caution, finally. You can do Nixon in between job, take some time, relax yourself, and get back to your business. You cannot do Nixon while driving. You cannot do Nixon when you are talking with your wife. You cannot Nixon when you are swimming. Okay? So there is a caution. Thank you, and I hope most of you would have listened to me without doing any Nixon now. Thank you.